Hey guys, it's Joanne here. Welcome back to my channel, and today, welcome to my kitchen. We're going to be doing another cooking video today. In this video, the cooking is going to be starring my absolute favorite, newest addition to my kitchen, which is my air fryer. Now, I got this air fryer back in December, and I think I have almost used it just about every single day since I got it. I am just totally obsessed with it. What I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna walk you through a few of my favorite recipes that I do in my air fryer, talk to you a little bit about cooking in the air fryer. I'm gonna show you guys how you can cook things that are frozen in an air fryer and just how perfectly they come out cooked and how easy it is to cook in an air fryer. So let's get right to the video. Okay, so what I wanna do for you first is I wanna introduce you guys to my air fryer. This is a GoWise USA air fryer. I will leave a link in the description box so you can get all the fancy Medancy information on it. The total quart size I will put up here on the screen because honestly I can't remember what exactly it is. But I will tell you this, first and foremost, when it comes to an air fryer, you have to purchase one that is sized for your family. Not 100% sure how big these air fryers come, but I can tell you for a fact that this air fryer would be very frustrating if you were gonna be cooking for more than 2 people. Since I am just cooking for one, it is the absolute perfect size for me to be able to make combination meals and be able to prep the stuff that I need to cook for myself. So this air fryer comes with a basket inside that is easy to release by just pushing this button and the basket comes right out. So you see that what ends up happening is that as you are cooking in the air fryer, the grease and any water, especially when it comes to frozen items, goes through the holes and just sits in this little container, and then this container can just get dumped out, emptied out, etc. When it's all said and done. So before you actually use it, you just clip this back in and then you push it into the front and the buttons go on. What I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to prep some potatoes, because the first thing I want to show you guys, one of my most favorite things that I love to make in the air fryer is homemade French fries. And they are a healthier version of French fries, obviously, because you're not actually deep frying them in oil. You'll see a lot of videos online that tell you, you know, in order to make a perfect French fry, you have to fry them first for a few minutes, take them out, let them rest, then fry them again, and then take them out. And it's so much oil and so much extra fat that goes into the French fry, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you the method that I've kind of come up with between like watching videos and honestly just playing with the appliance myself, and I've come up with a way that I think has like perfected the French fry for me. So in order to show you guys how I do a French fry, I'm going to take this is a pretty decent sized russet potato. I have already washed it and dried it a little bit. I'm going to be using this Full Star food chopper for prepping, you know, with this like square blade pattern. And so what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to cut the potato in half, and then we are going to place it inside of the chopper, and then we're going to push down on it, and you'll see it makes like little French fries. I'm going to take the other half of it, put it in, same thing, push down, and there you have it, perfectly cut French fries. Now what I like to do with my French fries, and this is kind of totally an optional step, what I like to do is I like to pop them in boiling water for about 2 minutes, And doing that kind of pre-cooks them a little bit, also gets a lot of the starch out of it. And then after the 2 minutes, I literally just put them on a paper towel to drain them a little bit, and then I put them back in here for a little bit of seasoning. You want to put some type of either oil, or you can do the 0 count sprays, the different sprays for this one. I just have a little bit of olive oil, so I'm literally just going to do just a little bit of olive oil like that. Give it a little mix with a fork, mix it up, and then you can put your own spices on it. You can do, you know, salt, pepper. What I do is I've been using this Yikes stuff. It's like a combination. Here's a close-up of this spice. It is called Yikes by Awesome Country, and they're located in Boonville, New York, and I will leave a link in the description box below. See if these are available to order online. Kind of a pinch, because this stuff is a little hot. I sprinkle it on the potato, give it a little mix, and then we're going to pop it into the air fryer. You just want to spread them out on a single layer. Then we're going to pop them in. We're going to turn it on. We're going to choose the chips option. Gives you 400 degrees, and it says 20 minutes. Now, here is the thing with air fryers. What I like to do, because everybody is going to be cutting their wedges in different sizes and different shapes, is I like to check and stir the potatoes about every 4 minutes. So we're gonna hit go, and we're gonna come back in 4 minutes. Okay, we have 4 minutes down, so I'm gonna open it up. This is what it looks like after 4 minutes. You're still gonna wanna stir. Just move them around a little bit. We're going to put them in for 4 more minutes. Let it roll. Okay, we're back to check, and we have another 4 minutes, 5 minutes down. So we're going to open it up. And you can hear them sizzling. You can hear that they're starting to crisp up. And they're starting to get a little bit French fry-y, as you would say. At this point in time, if you want, you can spray it with a little bit more spray, or you can just drizzle a little bit more olive oil on it. Again, I kind of always just go by look, and we're gonna put this in, and we're gonna let it roll for probably, I would say, one more 3 or 4 minutes, and they should be done. 7 minutes left, so we've been 13 minutes in total. We're gonna pull this out. Oh, these are done to perfection. So all we're gonna do is we are gonna take these out. We just pop this little basket out. And you can hear how crispy they are. And any extra oil and stuff has just fallen right to the bottom. And they have just the right spice seasoning kick. They're just so good. And of course we can do that same process with a sweet potato, and I'm gonna rapidly do that process for you right now. So it's been 5 minutes. One of the food prep tips that I wanted to give you guys today, something that I do, a lot of times I often buy the russet potatoes in like a 3-pound bag, and I don't necessarily use them all, so I prep them all ahead of time. I do like the 2-minute boil, and then I take them and I just put them into Ziploc bags, lay them as flat as possible, and stack them in the freezer so that they are totally frozen, and then they will obviously last a lot longer. You can just take a Ziploc bag out, you already know it's a serving, put it inside your air fryer. It may take a few extra minutes to be able to get them to crisp up, but the beauty of it is what I usually do is I usually start air frying them first without putting any oil on it, and then once all of the frozen stuff has kind of melted down and gone in between the little basket part, then later on I add a little bit of the olive oil or spray and then mix it up with the seasonings, and they crisp up just as good as the fresh potatoes do. So speaking of meal prep, there's another little meal prep hack that I don't know, for some reason I just started doing it, and it's worked so well with me, especially with cooking for one person and making things last longer and not feeling like you have to use everything up that's in the refrigerator. And that has to do with how I prep my bacon. What I do with my bacon is I buy like the normal pound of bacon, and that it's in the long strips. I immediately cut the bacon in half, and I actually cut the package in half and then pull it apart. I wish I would have recorded that, but I didn't. Then what I do is I take, this is getting ready to go into the freezer right now, but then what I do is I take, usually I use parchment paper. I didn't have any parchment paper, but I had a whole bunch of Ziploc bags that were left over. When I'm done using them, I can just wash the top, hang them and reuse them for this purpose. But I literally just put 4 strips of bacon on top of a plastic bag and just stack them on top of each other. That way what I can do is I can just pull the big bag out of the freezer, take one section. For me, in the morning, I could do 4 strips of bacon. I could maybe have two with breakfast, which is basically only 1 strip of bacon, or I could use them all for 2 strips of bacon, save some for maybe an afternoon lunch, maybe put it in with a turkey sandwich. I've been doing that lately. I've been doing turkey, bacon, and cheese and making like a grilled cheese out of it. So, but what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna show you guys how amazing, like my favorite thing I think to cook in an air fryer is bacon. So bacon is real simple. We're just gonna put it inside of the air fryer, and I don't even grease the bottom or anything because honestly the bacon kind of does that itself. You don't have to worry too much about the placement of the bacon at first, because let me tell you, the air is going to move the bacon around, and that's another reason why you have to check on it every couple of minutes. So we're going to pop this inside there, pork, push. It goes 15 minutes at 370, but I usually bump it up to 400 or 390, and believe me, it does not take 15 minutes. Let's cook this bacon. Got about 4 minutes in the bacon, and you see here how it starts to curl up. I usually just flip them once. We're just going to pop them in for another maybe 1 more minute. The other cool thing about the air fryer, what you can do is, if my eggs were still cooking or whatever, I can just pull it out and just close it, but not let it kick on. And it kind of can, you know how bacon will continue to cook with the bacon grease that's still dripping down as the bacon is still hot. I'll finish up my eggs, let the bacon kind of finish cooking in there. Again, this has only been, let's see, how long was it? 11. This has only been about 4 minutes. And this was with the bacon was not frozen. With the if I put the bacon in there frozen, of course, it's going to take a little bit longer. If you like crispier bacon, you just leave it in a little bit longer. It's so easy to be able to just open this up quickly and see if it's done. So we're going to take this out because this is how I like my bacon. We're going to put them on the paper towel. Let it drip a little bit more. You'll see here, all of the bacon grease has dripped down to the bottom of the pan, and the bacon was not soaking inside of the bacon grease. Now what I want to do is I want to show you guys, just give you an example of how you can cook things like right from the freezer into the air fryer with like very little prep. I like to buy big bags of wild-caught frozen haddock fillets or shrimp and buy them in, you know, big bulk bags, keep them in the freezer, and then I can just take them out, pop them in the air fryer whenever I want to have some type of fish or shrimp for a protein for one of my lunches or my dinners. So what I have here is a piece of frozen fish, which you can see is frozen, and I have several, probably about a dozen pieces of medium-sized shrimp that just needs to be cooked in the air fryer. All as I'm gonna do with these is I'm going to put them all in the air fryer all at once, put a little bit of olive oil on them, and put some seasonings on them. So it's going to be whatever seasoning you prefer. Sometimes I like to use fresh garlic and lemon. I actually don't have any of that available to me right now, but what I am going to use is I have an Asian flair seasoning with that has a little bit of a hint of lemon to it that I'm going to sprinkle on it, along with that wow yikes stuff seasoning that I put on the potatoes. So let's start cooking some seafood. So we have the fish and the shrimp I just tossed in the basket. I have no oil on it right now. Here is that like Asian seasoning mix that I was talking about. We're gonna sprinkle a little bit of that on, not too much, just to get it started. And we're gonna put this in here, and you guessed it, we have a fish. Power sets the fish at 370 for 20 minutes. The beginning of this is literally just going to start the fish from defrosting, and as it defrosts, the water is going to drip and go down below, which is awesome when it comes to seafood, because that means that you're not going to have soggy seafood. So it's been about 6 minutes, and I'm going to open this up, and you can see, you can hear it sizzling. I'm just going to move the shrimp around a little bit, and we're going to add a little bit of olive oil in it this time. And this is where I'm going to use a little pinch of this wow seasoning. Put it back in. Continue to cook. Then a total of 11 minutes. I am going to take this opportunity to mix up the shrimp a little bit more, move them to the side, and we are going to flip the piece of fish very carefully, like so, and then continue to cook. So the fish and the shrimp should be done, and oh, it is. And there we have it, perfectly cooked. Flaky. So let's talk a minute about the convenience factor and the portion size and stuff for the air fryer. Depending how you're preparing the meal, this isn't going to be a put everything in one pot and your whole entire meal is done. So of course the frozen fish part of this is done. What I would probably do as far as side dishes with this is I would either make some rice, steam some broccoli, maybe use some of the French fries, bake a potato. The shrimp, actually I probably would just put it on a salad or mix it in with a pasta dish at the last minute, that kind of thing. One of my favorite uses for this is how awesome it is to heat up leftovers. So with the French fries that we cooked earlier, you simply, if you don't eat them all, obviously you can put them in the refrigerator. The next day you take them out. Now, what would be your normal choices? You're not going to want to heat up your oven, get it to temperature. Yes, that would take way too long. If you put them in a microwave, what's gonna happen? They're gonna get soggy. If you put them in a toaster oven, yes, they're gonna get toasted up, but it's probably gonna take a little bit longer because you have to wait for the toaster to come to temperature, that whole thing. With the air fryer, all you have to do is put it in there, put your leftovers in there, and just let it go. If they already have some type of, like these were already previously cooked with oil on it, you really probably wouldn't have to add any additional oil. You get takeout from a restaurant, say it was chicken tenders, the next day you can put those chicken tenders in and those leftover fries inside of the air fryer, and in 3 or 4 minutes they're nice and crispy, just like you had them when you were at the restaurant. That I think is also a really brilliant use for the air fryer. So I think that's going to be it for my video today, guys. If you enjoy these kind of cooking air fryer videos, please make sure you just leave a comment below. Let me know you want to see more of these. I have a lot more recipes. We haven't even dove into cooking a hamburger, cooking a steak inside here, making a cake. I haven't even tried making a cake. So that would be kind of fun to actually make a cake in here and see how that comes out. But I just kind of wanted to give you guys like an intro video and show you the most common uses that I personally use for my air fryer and how much it has really helped me be able to make quick meals even when nothing is de-thawed, and I can just grab some decent meat from my freezer and be able to put it in the air fryer and have it done in no time. Thanks so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. You guys, please stay safe, be healthy, and by all means, stay at home. Bye, guys.